Good afternoon from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rant Randy's Rant. Let me beat in our session here. Uh, Number one, I want to talk about two things. The first being that I am seeing where we're being on sites, on pages and groups, we are being facts checked. That is easily preventable in that facts check a post before you jump on and post it, because that limits that group. You get enough complaints and it will limit what kind of posts can be on that group. So this is something that has to be considered and has to be done carefully. Hello to Sherry and hello to Lisa. Another thing that I want to, you know how I roll here. I don't call out names, but I cannot answer a PM phone call uh, 6 minutes before I do a rant. It's just impossible. I don't have time to talk to someone before I go on the air. And that kind of pissed me off because it happened not once, but twice. All right, let's see where in the hell we're going to start today. Mostly what Grace and I did as much as we possibly could leading up to this afternoon was watch. We had to go off during part of it. We missed President Clinton and George W. Bush at doing their eulogies to John Lewis, but we caught President Obama's eulogy to John Lewis. And it reminded me of when we had leadership in this country. And we haven't had that ever since Obama. And Obama was one, as Obama said, we have to keep fighting to keep a representative democracy. You have to have free and fair elections. And if this dotard in the damn White House gets his way, see, what he was doing was reaching out to his minions now that it's going to be a rigged election, that you can't believe the results of the election. He's already said last week that he's going to have to see how the election comes out before he'll say that he will accept the results. Yeah, just the same way he was saying if he had lost to Hillary, he was going to question that. Let's see what else. And I will say Barack Obama was one of the best presidents, and I, to this day, miss him. He had an uphill battle from the word go because McConnell and the Republicans were after him from day one. And he was, I won't say he's the best president of the United States we've ever had, but he comes damn close. And I mean, we've had some great presidents like John F. Kennedy. We would have probably had a great president in Bobby Kennedy if he hadn't have been killed. Shit. And I will say about Barack Obama, he took responsibility for his administration. The buck stopped on his desk, unlike the chaotic clown we have right now. A man who will and has continued to divide this country, and who is surrendering this country to Russia and walking away from our allies. And he had just had Esper fulfill another Putin wish. to pull troops out of Germany. I think it's 11,900, leaving about 24,100 troops in Germany. This is just what Putin wanted. And also driving the wedge that Putin wanted between us and our allies. We're already to the point they will not trust us for leadership because we have none. Donnie has walked away from that. You damn dumb ass dictator. Now what he is starting to realize that he's going to lose the election, if nothing else, just over the coronavirus. He has shown no leadership. He has no national strategy, and he doesn't intend to have one. Plus, the most glaring fact in this whole thing, brothers and sisters, he has no empathy for 151,000 plus that are dead. Damn. And he's talking about delaying the election. Well, Mitch McConnell came out and said that he didn't think that that was even necessary and shouldn't be done. We've gotten through civil wars. We've gotten through the pandemic in 1918, not 17, the way Donnie says, and during a war. And we didn't call off elections. That's just a signal to his minions to question the election when it happens. And it's starting to look like the more he fights this, imagine what he's going to be like after he loses and he has those few months before he has to step down. It's going to be bloody if he has anything to do with it. And to me, he's asking for more good trouble because he's bad trouble. And at least he's been told to pull out of Portland. And I will be getting into that in a few minutes. I just heard from Mitch McConnell there is no need to delay the election. And let's see. And I'll get in another today's story. Russia praises U.S. withdrawing nearly 12,000 troops from Germany. And just a repeat of what I just said. And at the time, McConnell had nothing to say, but he came out of his shock and finally spoke up that no, we're not delaying an election. Graham said he didn't think it was a good idea and nothing more. That figures from Lindsay Leningrad Graham.
I'm going to go outside.
All right. Yeah. And I was going to say that McConnell's silence speaks volumes, but at least he finally spoke up about it, as well as which way is the wind blowing, Graham. And that's surprising from McConnell because he is facing possible defeat, and I think that is very possible. He will be defeated by Amy McGrath in Kentucky for his seat. We visited Walmart. Only one thing that didn't fit what was going on in Atlanta, Georgia today, the funeral of Representative John Lewis. Flags were not at half staff at Walmart. According to what I saw and Grace reported to me, Walmart is enforcing wearing masks in the store. And I noticed them turning people back. They would go in the entrance and then turn right back out and come out the entrance because they weren't wearing a mask. And let's see. And this included, Grace was in the store, and she said that there was a white female got refused to check out because she was refusing to wear a mask with children in tow, and it was infringing on her rights. So the employee, according to Grace, was as nice as he could be, but explained unless she had a mask on in the store, she could forget getting anything from the store, at which point she stomped out, yelling about interfering with my freedom. And Grace said the employee was very patient, but did not give in to the woman. All right, let's see what I got from last night. This is usual. Donnie is stoking racial division by rescinding the fair housing rule. That is appealing to white voters. In my book, a racist tweet was for his racists. Because if you hadn't waken up to the fact that this man will do anything to turn white voters, he's picking on the suburbs, your nice neighborhoods. Now you won't have to worry. Oh boy, if that ain't a bunch of bullshit. I've been through that when I lived down there. It was the fault of the people that moved out because they wouldn't live near blacks. It had nothing to do with low income housing. And from Cuomo last night, little Jim Jordan yelling about wearing masks. Plus, he was upset that the CEOs that showed up from Apple and the other companies chose to do a video during a pandemic. Why couldn't they come in and be naked faced like him? They don't learn anything. They have one of their representatives come down with COVID, but they're still going to be macho. Going to be macho and sit here like a dumbass with no mask on. Pence, Vice President Pence, met with some of the doctors in the crazy video that was taken off social media. Alien DNA, demon sperm, and demon babies. And why does Donnie like her? Because she's into hydroxychloroquine. She says it works as a cure for coronavirus. So she had Pence meet, or he had Pence meet with him. Man's a nut, both of them. Well, Pence is just Mr. Roboto. Let me go do that for you, Mr. President. A majority of Americans support mass mandates. Yet on Capitol Hill, Republicans thinks it's macho not to wear masks. They spend a good deal of time making fun of Democrats who won't come in and sit in the same room with them and do teleconference. And we see where it got Louis Garc. And then he blamed it on masks. Yeah, really. Or you keep your hands out of your mouth, you might not have got it. You can't make this shit up. I mean, damn. He is not known for being very bright in the first place. In the second place, he even sleeps in his office and then talking about people that were appearing by video in that one hearing. Give me a break. You won't even go home. And he will not let his staff in his office wear masks while they work on Capitol Hill. And he didn't inform his staff until after an article ran in Politico, gathered them into a room to deliver the news. Pelosi mandated wearing masks on the House floor because of the Gohmert case, but that is not where they spend the bulk of their time. They're not on the House floor. So you're not going to slow up people little like Jimmy Jordan and people like that. They don't care. They think it's macho to do like the president. Their president, by the way, not mine. Never will be. And according to Politico, they found out a lot of staffers for Republicans in the House are not allowed to wear masks to come to work. Single reminder about MSNBC, you see the higher numbers of deaths on MSNBC because they're counting the deaths in New York State that died at home. And in case people are somewhat confused when they tune in, and it's higher than on CNN. And this was from Don Lemon last night. Georgia GOP's Purdue Senate campaign takes down an ad that appears to enlarge the nose of Jewish opponent Ossoff. Says it was just and he says it was just another anti-Semitic trope. Graham did the same thing to Jamie Harrison, darkening his skin tone for his. In the case of Purdue, they were saying that Schumer and Ossoff are trying to buy the Democrats in Georgia. Give me a fucking break. I grew up with that bullshit when I was a kid, having to hear older people in the family talking about how the Jews had the money market cornered. That's where they're getting this bullshit. And they don't know how to run a fair race. They have to resort to racism and anti-Semitic comments and pictures. Give me a fucking break. They're a bunch of damn clowns. And I don't see how people don't see through that. And from Rachel, which was Ali Velchi again last night, another gift to Putin was announced by Esper of the Department of Defense that U.S. is pulling, or they said 12,000 troops from Germany. It's actually 11,900. And I think this is starting to upset a few Republicans, like Mitt Romney, but that's a long ways from upsetting them all, particularly in the House. The House would defend him to their dying breaths for pulling out of Germany. For some reason, they think it is delightful to please Putin. Let's see. And can you imagine how much this frightens and alarms our European allies that they want to do that? And like I said, just another gift to Putin. The planned cut to the U.S. forces in Europe is a boon for the Kremlin, which has long sought to drive a wedge between the Western allies and reduce U.S. influence in Europe. Okay. Boy, sometimes when I come over here, I can count on Donnie to fuck it up. And Esper presented it as repositioning to strengthen NATO. No, it isn't. It's to make NATO weaker. And it was immediately criticized by a former supreme leader of NATO and Senate's Mitt Romney as a gift to Putin's Russia. Donald Trump is a coward, and that's all he will ever be with Putin. He doesn't have the guts or the balls to stand up to the man. He owes Putin for his election. We have to keep that in mind. We don't know that he may have PP tapes on him. They probably do. He will never push back on Putin. 2 years ago, he was told Russia was selling arms to Afghanistan. He claimed Russia wouldn't, in the Axios interview, wouldn't fool around with Afghanistan. Donnie, you're such a pussy. On Tuesday, NYPD plainclothes officers seen forcing protester into an unmarked van. Authorities said that Stone was wanted for damaging police cameras near City Hall. She was charged with criminal mischief and making graffiti, which are misdemeanor offenses. Arrest of New York protester draws comparisons to arrest in Portland. Bill de Blasio was quoted as saying, "A lot of us have watched in pain what's going on in Portland, Oregon, and the fact that you see federal agents, federal officers, and federal troops clearly doing inappropriate things meant to undermine our democratic process. That's just thoroughly unacceptable. So anything even slightly suggests that that is, to me, troubling, and it's the kind of thing we don't want to see in our city. This is not Portland." Trump said federal agents would be sent to Detroit, Cleveland, Milwaukee, and in Operation Legend expands as it expands. Governor Kate Brown tweeted, "After my discussions with Vice President Pence and others, the federal government has agreed to withdraw federal officers from Portland. They have acted as an occupying force and brought violence. Starting Thursday, today, all Customs and Border Protection and ICE officers will leave downtown Portland." The DOJ sued Trump management for discrimination in 1973, so it came as no surprise as Tweety Turd yesterday tweeted, "I am happy to inform all the people living their suburban lifestyle dream that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low income housing built in your neighborhood. Don't worry, suburban voters, you won't be bothered by fair housing in your neighborhood. This is a dog bullhorn to white voters. This little worm of a man is ready to win at any cost. Like I said recently, Donnie is and always will be a racist out for bad trouble. Ali Velci interviewed Senator Cory Booker after Trump in a tele rally that Booker was going to be uh, the Obama low income housing czar or something like that. Booker said he had no reason to drag his name into it. He has gone. He's gone against left. This is about right and wrong. Racism is what Donald Trump is pushing. And that was from Cory Booker. Russians, this story was interesting to me, and I hadn't ever thought about it. Russians are laundering money through art sales in this country. Watch this space. And then the last word picked up, and I had hit the hay. I am going back. There was an interesting interview on the readout with Joy Reid that I didn't get to, and she interviews Mary Trump. So I'm going to try to work that in sometime tonight. And as usual, I will be at the meeting. I've got some side things to do, but basically at the meeting tonight, I just like to always get it out to my groups so that everybody possible can be at the live meeting. I've got some things I got to work on. I'm going to go up to YouTube where it has my high school picture or my high school in the picture and change it to another photograph that I did on a thumbnail from this Mac computer. And what I'm either gonna make another photograph, or I may use this photograph. You may have seen it. I think it's on both MeWe and Liker. Picture of me in Thousand Hills Park. Got on my Braves hat, and I made it on this computer, so I'm able to upload that kind of image to YouTube because it comes from the computer and not from Facebook. Facebook, I can't drag something over because Facebook is not going to be on the same page with this. So I'm working on little things like that, and going to be resetting my Google more often. I had a suggestion to go with Firefox, but I don't know. The last time I saw their format when it came to Facebook, I don't like it because it spreads it out like you're on a tablet and some of your buttons go missing, like logging out and shit like that. So I don't know. I may check out that that browser uh, later in the week. That's about all I got for you. Let me say, look here in the blue room, see who we got. Hello, Josh. See, I remembered you. Hey, Brian. Hey, Mary. Hey, John S. Let's see. And I know Sherry's here. I know Lisa's here. Okay. I noticed at one time we had a pretty good crowd in here. Trying to make these a little shorter, but as you know, I can only read so fast. Oh, and I need to beat Donnie more. I'm getting that. I see that in the comments a lot of times, and I'll try to remember to try to beat his head off. It won't come off. It's sturdy. All right. I will be putting my memes down at this point. I really could use your help. If you will help, go down and like and share the shit out of this for me. Uh, and I'll get my memes attached to this one, attached to my one on public feed, my timeline. Uh, Now I could use the help. I can guarantee you. If nothing else, it how to empty your browser. It amazes me. I mean, from the minute I get on here, I keep getting these ads about activate McAfee, activate another service for Windows. I don't have Windows. Oh, shit. It's just a daily irritation. Oh, I wanted to talk just a minute or two about another thing that's been bugging me, and you may have noticed it too. All of a sudden, for the last 2 weeks, we're getting a flood of calls. Of course, I have voicemail on my phone, so I never answer it, but it's always, our company is closing. If you would like a refund, press 1. That is a scam. What they want you to do is answer that with option 1, and it will ask you, are you here for a refund? You say yes, then they sold you some product and they've got your voice saying you bought it. Just a little warning. All right, I will let you go with peace, resist, persist, and insist. November 3rd, we flush the turd. We can get this done. We can take it all back, and we have to, because it's still, even if we win, there's probably going to be a bloody battle to get that asshole out of the White House. I hate to even think about that, but he's showing more and more. He's not going to leave there willingly. I don't care if he leaves on a gurney with his face with a sheet over his head. I want him out, and he will come out of there. All right, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow on my Facebook Friday show, Beer and Bud. Oh, please blow that smoke my way because I could use it more than ever now. Here it is, the middle of summer. We still do not have uh, legal medical marijuana. I don't think we're going to get it. They're going to figure out some way by hook or crook in this red state to take that away. They don't care what the voters want. But the problem is they already sold 44,000 medical marijuana cards. I wonder how they're going to get out of that one. All right, have a good one, and I will see you soon. And I will be at the meeting. Uh, I've forgotten. I wonder what the sound sounds like. Let me play with that a minute. I'll mute it. Is the sound better now? It looked like it was. Well, in any case, I will see you a little later on. Have a good one, and we'll see you later on. And I want to make sure and share the meeting for others. May stick around for a while. I hardly ever miss a meeting. Uh, I just feel good when I go there and be in the room with all of you in the chat. All right. Have a good one. Bye bye for now. Share this shit. Get it out there.